I think about that partnership with God as kind of train tracks where we release and we receive, we release and we receive, we release and we receive.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. What did you release along the way, and what did you receive from God along the way as you were doing your grieving?
I released death and I received life. You know, if you want simplicity.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, well, because all the survival skills, as helpful as they were still part of death, and they still isolated me. You know, one of them was I was a liar, and lying is a survival skill, and to become a truth teller. So I became a truth teller over time. You know, I had a crash course right at the beginning of the exposure, but that journey to come to wholeness in that sense, not that I haven't a lot of finished work to do yet, but the big construction stuff, that took 11 years. I'm not talking about something that happens quickly.
Yeah.
And we would love extreme soul makeover, right? We'd love to be sent to Disneyland and fixed by the time we get back. And it's not like that. We're too incredibly crafted for quick fixes. And so things I released were a false sense of who I was. A lot of the lies about what I'd been told, not only by the abuse I'd experienced as a child, and but also by my theology. I had a God that told me that I was worthless and totally depraved, and so that had to be let go of, you know, because that had me stuck as much as anything, you know. So I trust the Holy Spirit is everyone's guide and teacher, and inside the confluence of whatever the situation is that you find yourself, and loss. I think I said this in the other time we talked, is very clarifying. It's like I have friends on death row, you know, in Tennessee, and like Terry has been on death row for 35 years now. But his prison's very obvious. It's concrete and steel. You know, we talk about that, and the imminence of potential death is also very clarifying. And I said to him, you know, your prison is very obvious, but there are millions of us walking around in prisons that we can't see.
Yeah.
You know, how are we supposed to get out of them? We have to have a God who actually loves us, who pursues us, in order to free us from the prisons that we have sometimes crafted ourselves. And so much more that we could talk about that. But that is a giving and a letting go, and trusting that you'll receive, because it's a journey about trust, not a journey toward control. As you know,
that's where the faith comes in, not logic. Logic doesn't heal. Faith and relationship is what heals.
Well, logic can't heal the heart. It's sometimes helpful in the head.
Yes.
But that's where we usually gone to hide anyway. But and it's important. The transformation is by the renewing of how we think about things. It's paradigm shifts. So it's involved, but logic is never going to heal the heart, especially the hearts that's broken. Yeah.
So I really see the work being wrestling with all of those things that are exposed in us about what we believe about ourselves, what we believe about life, what we believe about God.
Yeah.
Sorting through all of that, which can be quite painstaking.
Yeah.
And that's what brings us to that place where we can fly again.
Absolutely. It's as horrible as death and as wrong as death is, God, who's a redeeming genius, can climb inside of it and grow things that are actually living.
That's a wonderful note to end on right there.
I think so too.
Thank you so much for taking time, Paul. I always walk away from these conversations inspired and more in love with my God.
And I'm honored to be with you. You're a good friend.
You're a good friend.
Love you
too.
much.
Love you much. You have a good rest of the weekend, and we'll be in touch.
I will. I got 3 little grandbabies that are 4 years and under waiting for me over at the house.
Oh, it's so fun. Go enjoy. That's wonderful, wonderful times.
All right. Love you.
Take good care.
You bet. Bye-bye.